Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be looking at something pretty interesting. So at some point I'm sure we've all seen some of these fake game ads online, and it can be pretty frustrating to download some of these games only to find out that the ad is not what's in the game. And honestly, looking at the video, the game mechanics doesn't even seem that difficult to replicate, so you kind of wonder, why don't they just make the game that way? Alright, so in this video I'm going to be sharing the processes I took in order to replicate this particular game mechanic. And yeah, so leave a like, subscribe if you like it. Let's get right into it. Alright, so the first step in creating any video game is to first of all create the legendary Mr. Bean. Then right after that, you create blockouts for your level design in order to define the walls, the boundaries, the floor, where the player is actually going to move around. Then next, I try to set up the camera in order to just get a good feel of how it's going to look like when the player is actually moving from left to right. So this leads us to the next step, which is creating the movement. And I actually had to make use of a joystick asset because this game was imagined for mobile, so I actually needed the joystick asset in order to make it mobile compatible. And just like that, we have basic movements and the environment already set up. Next step, we are going to be handling how the player shoots at the objects. First, I made use of an empty game object to indicate where the player is actually going to shoot from, and then I wrote another script in order to actually make the player shoot continuously. So next is to set up the bullets. For now, I'm actually making use of the primitive sphere object and a glowing material to just indicate what the bullet is. Then I wrote a script in order to make that bullet move in a straight line towards the target. And hey, just like magic, we have a player that can both shoot and move around. Next, let's spawn boulders. First, I wrote a script to spawn the boulders, then went forward to set up the boulder behavior. Now, among the boulder behaviors is a script that allows the boulder to move towards the player and also allows the boulder to receive damage from the player's bullets. Then I added the text in order to properly display how much HP the boulder has left. And also among the boulder behaviors is the boulder actually rotating. So this is actually an animation I applied to the sphere object that is the boulder in this case, and it's just so that the boulder actually seems to rotate towards the player and not just glide towards him. And again, as you can see, we already have a functioning game where we have the boulders coming at the player and the player can actually shoot at them. Alright, so I know there is still a lot of polishing to do, with the fact that the balls are still coming really fast and the fact that there is no way for the player to die, but we're actually going to handle that later. So the next step is actually to make the rewards. If you notice in the ad video, there were some reward indicators on the boulders, and when you destroy these boulders, you actually get those rewards. So that's what we're actually going to be making right now. So in this case, we actually have two reward options. One option is you can multiply the number of shooters, and another option is to increase the quality of the gun. So first, tackling the reward where you actually multiply the number of shooters, the first thing I did was to bring in more bean men and began to arrange them in the scene in order to see how best I could arrange them and how much I could accommodate at once in the scene. Also, I modified the boulders in order to actually indicate the kind of rewards that they carry. But in this case, I'm going to be representing different rewards with different colors of glowing balls. And after that, I modified the boulder script in order to actually give the rewards once it's destroyed. Try testing all I've been doing and the game refused to cooperate. Now this is something that actually happens very often in game development, so no biggie, we move. So after that, I did some extra Koji magic and voila, the game is fixed. We have a functioning reward system now. Alright, so at this point the game is pretty much playable and is about halfway done, with what's left being the scoring system and the death system. In the next video, we are going to be going deeper into this by creating the scoring and the death system and actually polishing the game so that it doesn't look like a prototype scene. So once again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you like it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.